tama naman yung mga nag-text po sa atin na lokohan na lamang to. I truly resent the fact that the BICAM is being hostaged by the Secretary of the Department of Public Works and Highways. At kung tunay na wala kayong tiwala sa sino mang district engineer, hindi po ako abogado ng Public Works, dapat tanggalin na lang ninyo lahat kasi pinapadagdagan mo yung budget, tapos yung mga mag-i-implement, wala kang tiwala, ano naman kami? Susunod sa iyo na kayo mismo walang tiwala sa isa't isa? Tama ba yun?
Unang-una po, hindi po pwedeng huminto ang trabaho sa DPWH.
Yes, Secretary Vince, hindi kita pinahihinto sa trabaho mo. Pinamamadalingan namin. Ikaw ang humihinto sa trabaho namin dito sa BICAM at papalit-palit ka ng sinasabi. Yun ang problema.
But simply putting back that budget sends the wrong message. And we know that. We know that. We are all communication experts in our own little way. So, yun po, if somebody...
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to direct my question to my good friend, Secretary Vince Dizon. Secretary, we invited you here to explain. Now, tell us, convince the public watching right now na itong hinihingi nyo na ibabalik na 45 billion, na ito po ay hindi insertion, na ito po ay hindi pork barrel. How will you convince us, the bicameral committee, and the people watching us right now live? Kasi kanina pa po, inoobserbahan ko, kanina pa po siguro 1 hour na, puro negative po yung tao, ayaw. Ibubulsa lang yan, balik na naman sa dati, nanakawin lang yan, puro ganun. Walang nagsabi na good job, maganda yung patutunguhan. Wala po eh. Wala man lang nagsabi na magdudulot yan ng magandang trabaho, puro nanakawin, pinagluloko lang tayo. Mayroon pa nagsabi ito, pinagluloko lang tayo ng bicameral na yan. So, explain it to us. Tell the public, convince everybody na ito po ay hindi pork barrel, na ito po ay hindi insertion tulad ng dati, na ito po ay mapupunta sa tama, na ito po ay hindi masasayang kasi hindi pa tayo tapos sa flood control anomaly, ito na naman tayo. So you really, hindi mo rin kami masisi na ikaw ay ginigisa ngayon dito ng Senate panel dahil nga po sa tingin ng mga tao ay kalukuhan po ito at tayo ay nagdadrama dito. Kaya convince this panel or this committee, convince the public na ito po ay hindi pork barrel, na ito po ay hindi insertion ng mga politiko. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, Senator Tulfo. Unang-una po, no, ang pinapabalik lang naman po ay yung nakaltas sa mga proyektong nandyan na rin po sa Senate version. So, hindi po ito bagong proyekto. So, therefore, hindi po ito insertion. No, kasi kung ano lang po yung mga proyektong nandyan na nabawasan, ibabalik lang po yung kinaltas. Unang-una po yan. Pero tingin ko po, unang-una, no, naintindihan ko po yung mga komento ng mga kababayan natin. No, at hindi ko sila nasisisi. Pero, ang gusto lang po naming sabihin is, binaba na po base sa utos at direktiba ng Pangulo, ang presyo ng mga materyales. Ito po ay i-implement ng DPWH kung mamarapatin nyo po, kung bibigyan po ng Senado at Kongreso na pagkakataon ng DPWH na i-implement ito. I-implement po natin ito bago pa ipabid ang mga proyektong to. And if I may just read, Mr. Chairman, Section 6 of the department order that we issued, which reads as mandatory compliance prior to procurement. Sinasabi po dito, the bids and awards committees must, letter A, require certification from the concerned head of office attesting to the application of the updated construction materials price data. Ensure that no procurement shall commence without the certification from the head of office, and reject or return any project that is not duly certified. No procurement activity may proceed without meeting this requirement. Ibig sabihin po, i-approve po muna natin bago ituloy ang bidding para masigurado na totoo ngang ibinaba ang mga presyo ng mga proyekto bago pa ito ipabid. So ito po talaga tingin ko ang magiging safeguard natin. Pero syempre po kami po ay open sa kahit ano pa pong dagdag na safeguard kasi iisa lang naman po ang ating layunin lahat. Siguraduhin na hindi na maulit yung pagnanakaw. Lalo na dahil dito sa mga overpriced, nakitang-kita naman talaga natin na dati overpriced po talaga ang mga proyekto.
Mr. Chair, follow-up question lang kay Secretary. Mr. Secretary, nabanggit po ninyo na dumaan sa proseso at dadaan sa proseso po ulit, may bidding na dadaanan, etc. Ganon-ganon din naman po yung sa flood control, Mr. Secretary. Dumaan din po sa bidding, dumaan sa TWG, meron pang COA, etc., etc., may PCAB, may kung ano-ano, ang dami hong safety measures na sinasabi. Bakit po nakalusot yung flood control? Dumaan po sa bidding, dumaan sa Congress, dumaan sa Senate, dumaan sa pagdating sa district, sa bidding, etc., TWG, COA. Yung pala lahat kasabwat, Mr. Secretary. So how will you convince us, how will you convince the public na this is different this time, na seryoso na po kami, na hindi na po maulit talaga, promise. Kasi mahigpit na ngayon kasi ayaw ng Pangulo. Kasi ganun din po nung nakaraan sa flood control. Dumaan po sa committee, dumaan po sa bicameral, tapos ibinaba na, i-download na po kung saan-saan, may district engineer. Pero ganun din po, nakalusot. May ghost project, merong substandard. Dumaan din naman po yun sa mga bidding, dumaan sa TWG, lahat. So, what's the difference, Mr. Secretary? Yung projects ngayon, itong pondo na ito, na halos the same lang pagdadaanan, is there anything extra, measure na para hindi na po talaga maulit tulad ng nangyari po sa flood control, Secretary Vince?
Mr. Chairman, Senator Tulfo, may malaki pong pagkakaiba ngayon. Ang pinakamalaki pong pagkakaiba ngayon ay yung direktiba at ginawa ng DPWH ayon sa direktiba ng Pangulo na ibaba ang presyo ng mga materyales. Hindi pa po ito ginagawa. Hindi pa po ito ginagawa sa tagal-tagal na sa DPWH na ibinaba at ipinareha sa presyo ng merkado ang presyo ng simento, presyo ng bakal, presyo ng buhangin, presyo ng graba. Hindi pa po ito ginagawa. Yun po ang malaking pagkakaiba, Mr. Chairman, ngayon.
That's all for me, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Thank you.
None from our side, Senator as of
Senator
now.
Aimee?
Okay, thank you very much. Very simple question. Real talk lang po. Kasi eto nga, nandito tayo na galit lahat ng tao. Parang linoloko naman tayo nito. Kayo nagpakaltas, ipapabalik muli. Ano ba, sa loob ng 2 buwan, ipapakaltas ba ulit? Gusto kong malaman, real talk konti ilan ba talaga at alin ba yung mga project na dumaan na sa early procurement sa panahong ito? Ilan ba talaga? Meron ba na mga projects na pinag-uusapan na nasa loob ng NEP sa budget ng Pangulo, nag-undergo na ng early procurement? Meron na ba? Kasi ang balita, takot lahat. Totoo bang meron o hindi?
Wala pa pong dumadaan sa early procurement dahil po hindi pa klaro kung ano yung mga proyekto talagang mapapasa. Wala pa po.
Sigurado kayo, wala ni isa, zero. So wala tayong pinag-uusapan, tama po ba? Sa ngayon.
Sa ngayon po, wala pa po.
So, ang ibig sabihin niyan, dati-rati talagang hinahabol yung early procurement ng October para hindi ma-delay ang project kasi aabutan talaga ng tag-ulan. Hindi ba?
Tama po yun.
O kung ganon, mag-a-adjust ka ng lahat ng ABC, sigurado na madidelay.
Totoo po yan, Madam Chair.
So, ang hinaharap natin, talagang madidelay.
Opo, dahil po na-delay ang early procurement, marami pong mga proyekto for 2026 na madidelay. Sigurado
So, ang
po yan.
hinaharap natin, talagang malungkot ang first and second and even third quarter, aabutin ng ulan. Yung tamang projection lang, kasi nag-expect ng tao, dadagdagan, papabalik mo. Pagkatapos, madidelay rin pala. Ano naman ang bisa nun? Para ke pa.
Ang bisa po noon, matutuloy pa rin po yung mga proyekto, Madam Chair. Madedelay lang nga po dahil extraordinaryo po itong panahon natin, Madam Chair. At tingin ko po, prudent din po, tama din po, na hindi muna magsimula ng early procurement. Dahil unang-una, hindi pa po sigurado kung ano ang mga project na papasa ng Kongreso. At ikagawa, dahil nga po nagbaba tayo ng presyo ng materyales ngayong fourth quarter.
Ganun pala, wala pala tayong pinag-usapan at talaga naman haharapin natin 3 quarters worth of delay. Tama naman yung mga nag-text po sa atin na lokohan na lamang to. I truly resent the fact that the BICAM is being hostaged by the Secretary of the Department of Public Works and Highways. At kung tunay na wala kayong tiwala sa sino mang district engineer, hindi po ako abogado ng Public Works, dapat tanggalin na lang ninyo lahat kasi pinapadagdagan mo yung budget, tapos yung mga mag-i-implement, wala kang tiwala, ano naman kami? Susunod sa iyo na kayo mismo walang tiwala sa isa't isa? Tama ba yun? Yun lang po.
Salamat po, if I may just respond to that po, ma'am. Unang-una po, hindi po pwedeng huminto ang trabaho sa DPWH. Napaka-importante po ng ginagawa ng DPWH. Habang linilinis natin ayon sa utos ng Pangulo, ang departamento, hindi po pwedeng huminto. Nakita na po natin ang epekto sa ekonomiya nitong nakaraang third and fourth quarter. So we are doing the best we can given the current situation, Mr. Chairman, Madam Senator.
Yes, Secretary Vince, hindi kita pinahihinto sa trabaho mo. Pinamamadalingan namin. Ikaw ang humihinto sa trabaho namin dito sa BICAM at papalit-palit ka ng sinasabi. Yun ang problema.
Hindi po ako papalit-palit ng sinasabi, Madam Chair. Ako po, iulitin ko, nagpunta lang po ako dito para ibahagi sa bicameral conference yung nakikita po naming epekto nung pagpasa ng third reading version ng Senado. Yun lang po. Ngayon, nasa Senado na po yan at nasa bicameral conference, nasa Kongreso, kung paano po magpo-proceed dito. At yun naman po, syempre, tatanggapin lang naman po ng ehekutibo kung ano man po yung decision na yan. Maraming salamat po.
Senator Pia?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Secretary Vince. So I was monitoring the discussion of our colleagues earlier, and my desire is not to have to repeat myself. So bear with me if may konting overlap, but I'm trying to choose questions which I feel hindi pa masyadong natanong or hindi na bigyan ng sapat na panahon as far as or as much clarity that I would like to get out of it. So bear with me, hindi ako engineer, abogado ako, pero pinipilit kong intindihin kasi kahapon inamin ko na hindi ko po masyado maintindihan yung sulat nyo, and that's just because I don't know the terminology, I don't understand exactly what, in fact, I have not seen a copy of here's the statement. I have not seen the copy of the construction material price data. Do we have a copy of that? We do. Okay. So, but I was just saying, at the time I saw this statement, wala namang naka-attach, so hindi ko alam yon. But on that note, some basic questions that will help me understand the issues that we face, and hopefully yung mga nanonood din sa atin, mabigyan din sila ng liwanag. So, one of the major concerns that you raised, Secretary Dizon, at ang pagkakaintindi ko is the economic effect, no, of any reduction in our investment in infrastructure. Tama po ba? Do I understand it correctly?
Yes,
Something-
if some of the projects po are rendered unimplementable
Yeah.
because of the wrong application of the adjustments to the prices of materials, then this will have severe impacts on not only the macroeconomy but also the local communities.
Yes. And in fact, kahapon, when we were also discussing yesterday when we were discussing the farm to market roads, all of us here and when I took the floor, I really expressed my full support for countrywide development, especially in the far-flung areas. Sabi ko nga, nakakarating ako doon. Ano ba? Yeah, thank you. Sabi ko, yung ibang lugar doon na nakarating na ako by bike or hiking kasi nga wala talagang kalye, no? So, alam natin na these farm-to-market roads are important, but at the same time, and not only is it important for the access of the locals, but there's also work opportunities that are given. And I have, as chairman of the Senate Committee on Sustainable Development Goals, Innovation, Futures Thinking, binanggit ko yung ibang SDG, pero babanggitin ko ngayon, SDG 8 is decent work. And construction work is decent work. So we have to support that, no? Yung trabaho para sa mga kababayan natin. I don't know because I tried to look it up on my own and I couldn't find an answer to this question. So I will ask you, Mr. Secretary, can you give me a ratio of construction workers to the price of a construction project? And I know the answer to that will vary on the project. Mas komplikado siguro yung bridge na tumatawid sa dagat compared sa kalye. So if that's technical, I'll just give examples and then you can just correct me with the actual numbers, no? So I can continue speaking. So again, I don't think there's an exact ratio because it depends on the project. But for example, if we said that there is 10 construction workers for every 1 million project, then that means there would be 100 construction workers for a 10 million project, or there would be 1,000 workers for a 100 million project, assuming my ratio is correct. And my numbers are very basic, so madali naman pong sundan yan, okay? So for every 100 million peso project, there will be 100 workers, 1,000 workers. So nung nagkaroon po tayo ng ghost projects na worth 100 million pesos, pwede kong i-argue na 1,000 construction workers ang nawalan ng trabaho dahil nga may ghost project. So let the record show that the Secretary answered yes kasi hindi naka-on yung mic. Yes.
Tama po,
Tama.
Madam
So
Chair.
during the ghost project era, for every 100 million pesos, and again, this is just a estimate, I'm saying 1,000 construction workers, hindi na nga nakapagtrabaho, ninakawan pa sila ng sweldo. 'Di ba? I mean, how bad is that? So that is the situation we have. And Mr. Secretary, how many ghost projects have you confirmed and how many do you suspect are still out there? Whatever numbers you have that you can share with us.
Right now, Mr. Chairman, Madam Senator, our numbers are still, for flood control, our validation is still ongoing. But for Bulacan alone, we have already discovered roughly about 15 ghost projects in Bulacan alone.
Are these the ghost projects that were roughly close to 100 million, like a little bit less, around that price? Or?
Most of them po are within that range, between
So
100
so
to
using
140
my
million.
guesstimate of 1,000 workers for every 100 million peso project times 15, that's 15,000 workers that never got a job and ninakaw pa yung sweldo nila.
That is correct,
Correct.
Madam
Okay.
Chair.
So that is our situation that you discovered. Kumbaga, nadiskubre mo na yan, wala ka namang kinalaman dyan, nadiskubre mo yan, at marami pa sigurong iba dahil we know that you are investigating other regions, di ba? May mga narinig na rin tayong mga ibang probinsya. So we know that for a fact that that is ongoing. So, this is the next point I'm going to bring up. So, when we in the Senate, and for that matter, I'm sure our colleagues in the House did the same, review the budget of DPWH, And the amount is 600 plus billion, no? 670 billion, is that correct? That is the amount that I recall. And then the secretary had requested, sabi ni Presidente, babaan nyo yung budget, and then the secretary informed the Senate, babaan nyo ng 50-something million. Tama? 53? Tama ba, Mr. Chairman? Kung ano yung binawas natin? 53 billion. Parang 53 sa magic number. Yun din yung sa PhilHealth na NEP na kulang tayo ng 16 billion. Just to say, okay, kung mga may numerologists dyan, 53. Okay, 53 billion yung, ha? Natandaan ko lang. 53 million yung natanggal sa Senate version. And that was based on the recommendation that the DPWH gave us, correct?
Sorry, no. Let me clarify. In the committee hearings, I was asked a question, Madam Senator. If the DPWH cannot bring down the price of materials, will you agree to a 25% across the board cut? And my answer during that hearing was yes. However, we were able, based on the directive of the President, to reduce the prices of materials as far as cement, steel,
But
etc.
that's later.
That's
No, okay.
later,
So
yes.
let me just go chronologically.
So the 53 billion, I just need to correct it, Madam Senator, did not come from DPWH.
Okay, okay. But the Senate used the input that the Secretary provided and came up with the 53 billion. So sa Senado na yan, no? We came up with that number.
Yes, which I tried to clarify in today's,
Correct.
in the presentation today. Thank you very much.
Pero I also listened to the interventions of my colleagues. So I won't go into that detail. Basta 53 billion based on the understanding of the Senate on the instructions given and our desire to reduce the cost because there were a lot of overpricing as far as we understood it to be, also based on the President's directive and His Honor's explanation to us. So having said that, may 53 billion tayo ngayong binawas. And the argument before us now, as you are presenting it, is pag ito yung na-adapt, that the DPWH is less 53 billion, baka may mga projects na hindi matapos ng maayos. And that is the first statement you made when I took the floor, na yun yung concern nyo na ma-affect yung economic development natin because there may be some project, maybe not all, but there may be some projects na dahil sa smaller budget na binigay, hindi matapos. Tama ho yun, di ba? Yung
Tama po.
pagkasabi nyo. Okay. Pero Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, yung work ko personally as Vice Chairman of the Committee on Finance for the past 7 years only touches on constructions to the extent that I chair the Committee on Education, and so I'm very familiar with the failure of DPWH to build enough classrooms. Very, very familiar. I can present to you for the last 7 years what I'm presenting every year na from the start of the President's presidency, kung ganito kalaki yung pinasok sana na pondo within the President's term in 6 years, wala na tayong classroom wala na tayong classroom deficiency, but of course no one listened to my suggestions. So I'm familiar with that. I'm also familiar with the construction of state universities and colleges. Congressman Rufus, I'm a big supporter of our state university, USTP in Cagayan de Oro, and many others all over. 6 years kong hinawakan yun at kaya ko lang hindi hawak ngayon dahil kinuha sa akin ng chairman. I will always say that because he does a great job. Magkasundo naman kami dito, but that's the reason why I'm not handling it now. So, may konting alam naman ako kahit na from the eyes lang of a lawyer who's handling the budget. And so, let's just say kinapush yung projects. I don't know, maybe His Honor said there are 10,000 projects. Maybe let's say kinapush ang 10% nun or 5% nun, whatever that number is. Di ba may phase 2 naman? Pwede naman ituloy? I mean, ikamamatay ba natin? Because the people will still be employed. they will still, bibilin pa rin yung bakal na mas mamura yung presyo, bibilin pa rin yung semento na mas totoo na yung presyo, i-hired pa rin naman yung construction worker. Ay, kaya lang yung nabigay kasi nyo sa Senado, ang kukulit nyo kasi, gusto nyo mag-ingat, ang binigay nyo medyo kapos, di ituloy sa susunod na taon, ikamamatay ba natin yun? Perishable ba yun? Yun lang naman ang tanong ko because I have encountered this issue so many times because pag humingi ako ng budget para dun sa construction ng State University dormitories, by the way, that is my passion sa mga colleagues. Sa mga lugar nyo, sabihin nyo sa akin kung meron tayong matutulungan dyan sa susunod. It's my passion. Pag kinulang, edi next phase 2. Pag kinulang, edi may phase 3. So, yun lang naman yung sa akin. And after I get an answer from the secretary, I'll tell you why I'm exploring this option because of the next point I'm going to make.
Just to, I think, simplify the answer to this question, Mr. Chairman, Madam Senator. I think the concern is, kapag po, halimbawa, no, yung proyektong pinakita natin kanina sa Region 4B, that was in Romblon, no, by the way, kung ganun po kalaki yung cut doon, no, 68 versus I think yung tama dapat na cut na 37% instead of 68. So kalahati. Wala pong magbibid doon sa proyektong yun. Wala magbibid. Kasi po, hindi po kaya, no? So, ang pwede pong gawin ng DPWH doon is igsian yung, imomodify po yung proyekto. Ibig sabihin, kung yan 10 kilometro dapat, pwedeng gawin ng DPWH, iigsian, no, yung proyekto para lang maging implementable. Pero, yan po, ginagawa po yan, no? It's called modification, no? But, yun nga, sayang nga po yung economic activity. Kasi obviously, pagka yung 10 kilometro po, ginawa na ng 5 kilometro o 3 kilometro, lesser economic activity po yun, mas maigsi yung trabaho, yung araw na pagtatrabahuan ng ating mga kababayan, etc. Mas konting simento, mas konting bakal, etc. So yun po ang real effect po ng isang proyektong tulad nung pinakita natin kanina. Pero tama po kayo. Marami pong mga proyekto ng DPWH na hindi natatapos ng on time, no? Pero ganun po ang immediate effect kung susundin po natin yung nasa Senate version. So, tama po kayo, we can live with it. We can, to be quite honest. But that is the real effect. If a project is reduced from 41 million to 13 million, when the real price based on the new prices is a project of 30 million, then there will be an effect on the project itself. Yun na po, we're just informing the honorable members of the BICAM of that real effect.
Okay, so I understand, no? You're basically agreeing with me that if necessary, pwede naman ituloy yon the next year, okay? And the reason, and I understand yung nanghihinayang po tayo na, pero kung pwede naman buuin, sino ba naman may gustong mabitin? For example, may sports project ako dun sa probinsya ni Congressman Abet Garcia. Ba't ko naman ipapa 2 years from now kung pwede nang mabuo next year, kung pwede nang maglaro yung mga bata doon, kung pwede na tayong magkaroon ng the next Southeast Asian Games champion doon, di ba? Bakit nga naman? I agree. But, ito na nga yung next point na sinasabi ko. Mr. Secretary, you will recall how important communication is, especially during the time that you were the COVID SAR, the vaccination SAR. No less than WHO emphasized that one of the pillars in addressing this COVID epidemic was proper communications. Apat lang yung pillars nila, di ko na maalala yung 3. Pero yung communication, imagine, was included in the pillars, communication. So ito nangyari. Nabalitaan na merong mga flood control and massive corruption in DPWH. And the President made a statement about it. And then DPWH stepped up under your leadership and addressing this, going on site, identifying the areas that were victims of this massive corruption. So what did we communicate to the people? Hindi tayo papayag na may ganitong klaseng korupsyon. Hindi tayo papayag na may mga kontraktor at may mga konsyabang government employees, officials from all levels, hindi tayo papayag. That is the message. That was what was communicated. So when we step into this BICAM today, ang bit-bit natin lahat, or at least namin sa Senado, nag-reduce ng presyo based on that same communication, based on that same script. Ito ang gagawin natin para sa taong bayan. We will show up. We will not allow this to happen. So when you come back now and tell us, nagbago na yung script, there's other reasons why hindi natin pwedeng babaan. Napakahirap kasi wala tayong enough time na i-communicate ng maayos sa taong bayan yan. Kahit ako, nahihirapan akong intindihin, sikmurahin because we made an across the board, across the what do you call that? An all of government, all of government approach. Whole of government approach, di ba? The president, his alter ego, the secretary, members of the House, members of the Senate. Tapos, ang pinangahawakan ng mga tao is we will not allow this overpricing. I know it is not as simple as that. Many times, personally, I have had to make tough decisions in pushing for measures, including, let's say, the CREATE law. Hindi naman lahat masaya ang mga businessmen doon dahil may mga tinamaan. Sabi natin, wag na natin ibigay yung todo-todong, ano tawag dito, yung deductions, yung incentives. Yung incentives that they have been receiving for 40 years. Siguro naman, after 40 years, pwede na kayo magbayad ng tax, di ba? Hindi sila masaya, but we have to do the difficult thing. So, I am very willing, Mr. Chairman, to do the difficult job. To try to see kung papaano tayo makakapag-provide ng more support to economic activities, especially in the countryside. But it cannot be at the expense of people thinking that we are backtracking, thinking that ngayon, okay lang sa atin na ibalik yung presyong mataas. Kasi yun nga yung presyong dinatnan natin nung may korupsyon. Ang hirap himayin, tapos nagmamadali pa. Napakahirap. At hindi ko yata kayang gawin kasi nga, hindi yan yung kinommunicate natin sa mga tao. Kaya even though, and I think my colleagues will vouch for this, I'm always willing to listen. I'm always willing to listen to change my mind if I am presented with facts, with evidence that will require that I change my mind. That is our job. Hindi bagay dito yung sarado utak. So kailangan open tayo. Pero ang hirap intindihin. Yun lang talaga. So that is where I personally have difficulty. And you know that, Mr. Secretary, ikaw pa, I always listen to you. Intindihin nyo lang sana po kung gaano kahirap ito kasi the people also trust. Sabi nyo nga, it's a trust issue. Yes, and the people trust us. So we cannot just say, ibabalik yung presyo. I heard you, Mr. Secretary. Hindi totoo, ibabalik yung flood control project. I heard you. Hindi totoo. Lahat nung hindi totoo, I heard you. But simply putting back that budget sends the wrong message. And we know that. We know that. We are all communication experts in our own little way. So, yun po, if somebody can shed light, can improve this communication in the next 24 hours, then let's try to do it because no one here does not want to see countryside development. No one here does not want to support. O baka double negative, hindi maintindihan, baliktarin ko na lang. Everyone here wants to support development in Mindanao, in Visayas, in Palawan, of course. Lahat, hindi, tinuro ko na kanina pa. Lahat naman gusto, pero sa panong paraan na ang tao kaya nilang intindihin na hindi natin tinatalikuran yung ating commitment sa kanila. na hindi tayo papayag na may kalokohan, and all, I say all, the safeguards are there. So yun lang, Mr. Secretary, you know me well enough to know that I don't want to make your job harder than it is. I have so much admiration for the work you have done and the work you continue to do. But help us out here, because this is not something that we can easily just say, okay lang, balik sa presyong gano'n. Mahirap po.
Unang-una po, Madam Chair, maraming salamat. At tama po lahat ng sinabi nyo. This is a trust issue. But I think, first and foremost, hindi po ibig sabihin na kapag sumunod po tayo sa budgets ng mga proyekto sa HGAB, ibig sabihin, ibinabalik natin ang overprice. Yun po, I think, ang paulit-ulit ko na rin pong sinasabi. Bakit po? Dahil binaba na po ng DPWH, dahil sa direktiba ng Pangulo, ang presyo ng mga materyales. Binaba na po. Ang question na lang po dito is, paano po ia-apply yung pagbaba ng presyo sa bawat isa sa mahigit 10,000 proyekto na naibaba sa Senate version. Yun lang po yun. No? Pagka po sinunod natin yung reductions base sa Senate version, meron po tayong makikitang mga proyekto tulad ng mga ipinresenta namin kanina na posibleng hindi may implement in full. Tama din po kayo. Pwede namang ituloy yon next year. Tama po kayo doon. Pero ang hinihiling po namin sa Senado at sa bicameral is payagan po ang DPWH na magbaba nung mga presyong yon. Dahil po, meron yung mga taga-DPWH po ang nakakaalam kung paano gagawin. Ngayon po, alam ko po na merong hindi pagtitiwala. Aaminin ko, kahit po ako, hindi nagtitiwala. Kaya po nagpalabas po ako ng department order nitong nakaraang linggo lang para siguraduhin na talagang ibababa ang presyo sa bawat proyekto ng bawat regional director at district engineer. Yun po ang pinresinta ko ngayon. Kaya po ako nagpapasalamat sa imbitasyon ni Chairman Win at ni Chairperson Mika. Pero uulitin ko din po, ito po ay hiling lamang at ultimately po, ang desisyon ay nasa Kongreso. Hindi po ako nakikipag-debate. Pinepresenta ko lang po ang nakikita ko ngayon bilang DPWH Secretary. At yun po ang aking pinipresenta kung ano po ang desisyon ng Kongreso, ng Bicameral Conference Committee, yun po ay susundin natin kung ano man po yun. Maraming salamat po.
Just one question lang, Sec. Sabi nyo na baba na yung presyo. I think mariresolve natin to kung yung presyong ibinaba nyo, ima-apply na natin ngayon dito sa budget na pinag-uusapan. I think that will resolve lahat ng problema ho natin.
Opo. Unfortunately, sinabi ko din po ito nung hearing, nung ako po itinanong ni Senator Legarda, is not possible. And ang sabi po sa akin,
Not possible.
it is not possible. Kasi nga po, sa volume po, sa dami ng mga proyekto, hindi po ito, lalo na po ngayon na kailangan na pong maipasa ang budget. So, ito na lang po talaga ang paraan. Kaya po namin hiniling ito sa Bicameral Conference Committee.
Pero kung kaya naman, kung may political will, kaya naman
Hindi po,
gawin.
it is physically impossible. I was just told again, I kept on asking, actually the whole day, even yesterday, I kept on asking, kaya ba? Ang sabi lahat sa akin, hindi kaya. Hindi daw po kayang, sa dami po ng mga proyektong kailangan
Ilang
baguhin.
proyekto ang pinag-uusapan natin?
Ang kinat po ata ng Senado ay 10,000 proyekto, if I am not mistaken. So, Mr. Chairman, kung ako tatanungin mo, kilala niyo naman po ako, pagka merong kailangan gawin, ako po yung unang magsasabing kayang gawin.
Actually, kilala nga kita.
Opo, no,
Bihira kang humindi.
bihira po akong magsabi na hindi kayang gawin, no? Pero in this case, ang sabi ko po sa akin, imposible daw po itong magawa in the limited time that we have. Kaya ito na lang po ang inihiling namin. Pero again, ito po ay desisyon ng Kongreso.
Sen, if I may, I'd like to pose a few questions to Secretary Vince. But before that, siguro po, ililinawin ko lang yung mga napag-usapan natin. Yung sinabi po ni Sec Vince na hindi naman po tayo nagkakalayo doon sa, pare-pareho po tayo, tulad na rin po ni SVC, na gusto talaga natin na mayroong makat. Wala pong problema doon sa data, tulad po ng sinabi ni Sec Vince na yung adjustment factor ay yun, sa kasalukuyan. Pero siguro yung problema nga ay pagdating doon sa application. Una, yung across the board na reduction. Hindi nga man lang bumaba sa level ng probinsya. Nakalagay lang, nakita ko po yung adjustment factor, region lang. So sa bawat probinsya po, iba pa yon. So dapat hindi nga man lang sapat yung pagka-granular dahil bukod po sa adjustment factor ng region, dapat meron pang adjustment factor sa bawat probinsya. So yun po siguro yung una. Pangalawa po, tulad po ng sinabi ni Sec Vince, sa kasalukuyang forma po na inilagay ng Senado, hindi ang kinaltasan po, ang inapplyan po ng adjustment factor, and let me know, Sec Vince, if I'm getting it correctly. Ang inapplyan po ng adjustment factor ng Senado ay yung buong project cost. Hindi po yung CMPD component lang. So halimbawa, kung, kasi Sec Vince, di ba, iba-iba po, bawat project, iba po yung porsyento ng project na CMPD component. Halimbawa po, para po sa asphalting, ang alam ko parang ilang percent sa asphalting? Sa asphalting is 60% ng total project cost yung CMPD. Sa concreting naman, 43% lang ng total cost yung CMPD. So, ang tanong ko po, tama po ba ang pagkakaintindi ko na ang ginawa po ng Senado ay regardless of what percentage of the total project cost is the CMPD component, hindi po nila kinonsider yon. Ang buong 100% po ng proyekto yung kanilang kinaltasan.
Hindi ko po masasabi with certainty kung ano po ang ginawa ng Senado. Pero nung tinignan ko po yung mga adjustment, parang ganun po, no? Halimbawa dun sa Romblon project na asphalting, 68% po yung average price adjustment for Region 4B at yun po ay kinaltas ng buo dun sa 41 million na project na yun. For that example alone po, no?
Opo, kasi ang pagkakaintindi ko po, bukod po sa CMPD, may labor component, may hauling component. So ang nangyari po, kahit yung labor component at hauling component, nai-apply po nila yung adjustment factor na dapat sana ay sa CMPD lang.
Tama po kayo. Yung, at least for the projects po na nakita namin, ganun po. No? But of course, hindi ko po masasabi.
So doon pa lang po, siguro po gusto ko lang po i-highlight, meron na po tayong problema doon sa application ng CMPD. Bukod sa across the board siya, na nasa regional level lang, hindi provincial level, at alam natin yan, sa bawat probinsya, iba din, bawat bayan, kasi yung iba mas malayo sa sentro, mas mahal pa po yung cost. Yun po, yung adjustment factor pa lang, iba-iba na eh. Hindi sapat yung pagka-granular ng adjustment factor.
Opo, ganun po yung nakita namin. At ano po, pero para din pong ipakita yung other side, no? Meron din pong mga proyekto na kulang naman ang bawas. No, meron pong proyekto na sobra ang bawas, meron pong proyekto na kulang ang bawas. Pero ang rason po is kapareho din po nung sinasabi nyo na dapat po i-apply ng tama yung pag-adjust dahil nga po ang materyales